I didn't even know Comic-Con was happening this year. I mean, they canceled E3 and there was no like lead up to Comic-Con.
Yeah, I don't remember hearing anything about it. And then all of a sudden, like these trailers are popping up. Like,
Yeah.
Black Panther and like Black Adam. Like, where the hell are these coming from?
Right. So I specifically asked if we could start with like the smaller stakes stuff before we get into the Marvel stuff, because the Marvel stuff is going to be a bigger chunk of the podcast, because there's a lot of stuff that they rolled out, and that's kind of Marvel's thing is these timelines. But before that, there are a couple of trailers that came out for things that are mildly exciting. They have a new trailer for that new Lord of the Rings show coming to not Paramount Plus. I don't even know what streaming platform it is. People are excited about that. I mean, you watched all the Lord of the Rings movies, right?
Yeah.
Did you like them?
Won't again.
Yeah, me neither. I'm sorry, my roommates who may or may not be listening to this.
No, I don't. Fantasy stuff is so... I can't do it.
Me neither. There's just... I had this theory for a while that kids growing up in the mid-2000s had if you were a nerd, you had to belong to one of three factions, right? You were either in the space nerd category with Star Wars, because the prequel movies were coming out. You were either in the magic nerd category with Harry Potter, because those were coming out. Or you were in the fantasy nerd category with Lord of the Rings. And it was like, anyone who had a nerdy dad was like watching one of those, series of movies. And I think by default, I just landed in the Star Wars category, but I wouldn't even say I'm that big of a Star Wars fan.
I was probably in the magic.
Harry Potter.
Also Star Wars, because I was Lego Star Wars,
Yeah. Well, that's my thing. All of my friends were into the Star Wars movies. Like I had a friend, Mikey Masters, or Master? One Master? I'm sorry, Mikey. But him and I would hang out a lot, and he would play like the video games for the prequel, like specifically in 2005 when Revenge of the Sith came out. That I remember playing the games for, and like Lego Star Wars again was huge. But I wasn't watching those movies. I didn't watch the original trilogy until high school, because like my parents weren't really into Star Wars. I think I watched the Indiana Jones movies before I watched Star Wars. But
I was super late to Indiana Jones, but no, I was actually kind of a big Harry Potter kid.
Yeah?
Like, I was reading the books, but then I stopped with Goblet of Fire because it was just getting stupid at that point, and not fun anymore.
Stupid.
But yeah, man, okay, enough. So
there's that. The Dungeons and Dragons is getting a new movie.
How do you even make that a movie?
I mean, the same way that I guess you make Barbie a movie, right? Like, I don't know. Well, I mean, Dungeons and Dragons is all about storylines. I'm just not sure if it's just like, if it's an actual campaign in D&D that's being represented by action scenes in a movie or whatever, or if it's like the actual characters in the world not being played in a game, like with Jumanji or whatever, it was like you had characters in the game. Like, I was wondering if it would be like, the end of the D&D movie is like a table of kids, and they're like in Stranger Things, they're,
or like a campaign. Lego movie.
Yeah, like that.
Like Will Ferrell like doing everything.
Yeah. So I'm not sure what that's gonna be. I know it's got a stacked cast. I know Chris Pine is in it. Hugh Grant, I think, is in it too. Justice Smith from Detective Pikachu. Yeah, and I mean, it doesn't look bad. I watched the trailer with my roommates, and my roommate Andres is really big into D&D. So like he understood some of the creatures and stuff that you saw. I might see it if it does well, but there's a part of me that thinks it's not going to do very well at all, just because I mean, technically it's a not a video game movie, but it's a movie based on a game, so it's like, or a toy. I don't know. Those tend not to do very well. But I think other than that, I don't think there are very many trailers for things.
The Sandman.
The Sandman.
Yeah.
Isn't that That's technically DC, isn't it?
I don't know.
Maybe
it's going on Netflix though.
Who?
I don't know. I didn't give a shit.
Who is the Sandman?
I don't know
In this one. Oh,
I don't know.
okay.
Not like the Spider-Man Sandman.
Right. Different Sandman.
I don't know. I watched like half the trailer. I was like, I don't give a shit.
Yeah. Was there anything else? Nah.
Who cares?
Who cares? Yeah. Now we're moving on to superhero stuff. Speaking of DC, so DC had a couple of movie trailers. They had trailers for some of their animated movies that they have coming out too. Which there is always that argument that Marvel did better live action movies and DC had better animated movies, which in general I guess is true. Because I've seen a couple of the DC animated movies, and I mean even like the DC cartoon shows like Justice League when we were growing up, like the Batman animated series I've never seen before, but people widely praise that as one of the best cartoons like ever made.
Yeah.
But we got a trailer for Black Adam and Shazam: Fury of the Gods, and those two characters are connected, so it's no surprise that their trailers are being released around the same time. I wouldn't be surprised if Dwayne The Rock Johnson. It feels weird not calling him The Rock. It'd be weird. I wouldn't be surprised if Dwayne The Rock Johnson showed up as Black Adam somewhere in the new Shazam movie, like in a post-credit scene or something.
Mr. Johnson.
Mr. The Rock. Mr. The Rock Johnson.
Mr. Rocks Johnson.
No. Mr. Rocks Johnson is my father. Please call me Dwayne.
Oh, man.
Dwayne The Rock.
But yeah, I feel like DC's in a weird spot right now.
Yeah, I mean, because there is no overarching narrative that there's no interconnected universe. Plus, I don't think their movies have been doing very well critically recently, so it's like they're not trying to make it's not that they're not trying to make good movies, but like it just feels like the stakes are really low. Oh, also, I mean, between Ezra Miller and Amber Heard,
I was gonna say there was the line in the Shazam trailer where he's talking about the Flash. I'm just like, oh man,
I
what
noticed.
What the hell's even going on with that anymore?
I noticed in the trailer someone commented how they didn't show the Flash's face, but they deliberately showed Batman and Aquaman's faces. So it's very interesting how DC, understandably so, is trying to separate itself from Ezra Miller in every way.
It's like, what the hell are they even gonna do with the Flash movie, man?
Yeah, who knows? Who knows? They might digitally remove Ezra Miller's face and replace it with Grant Gustin's from the Flash show.
I mean, they did it with Superman's mustache. Why not?
Yeah, a whole face.
His whole face.
Just Ezra Miller's body. Just they change the face and have him come in and do like blue screen work.
They just put what's it called? Oh, what's that called? Not mask, but there's what the hell is that called? I should know this.
It's not rotoscope.
No, track.
They
just track like someone else's face over him the whole time. I don't know, man. I just want to see Michael Keaton as Batman again.
Yeah, me too. I want to see Michael Keaton as Batman. I think I'm more excited for Black Adam than I am Shazam. Cause like the Shazam, I like Zachary Levi. But after watching the trailer, I don't know. It feels weird having Helen Mirren play a villain in a superhero movie. Not that she's not a good actor, but just like, I don't know. It's just kind of a out of left field, like last person that I would expect to see in a superhero movie as a villain. Not even as like a side character, like an Alfred type. But yeah, no. I mean, it seems fun enough. I think the first Shazam movie was also fun enough, but like all of the kids are so much older than when the first movie came out. Because when did the first movie come out? Was that like 2019?
I think it was 19.
Okay. Yeah, because everyone knows how quickly child actors grow up. Like that's just the nature of I was talking about it with the Stranger Things kids recently. It's like it's so hard to keep those actors and those, they're going through a major part of their life. They're trying to figure out who they are as people, but also like appearance wise.
It was 19.
It was 19. That's crazy. But yeah, man, Black Adam is gonna drop a bunch of cameos too. You got Dr. Fate showing up, who is like one of the most excited, that I've been to see a new character in, the DCEU get introduced. I think his power set's really cool, and his costume looks really accurate to like the comics. Hawkman's gonna show up. I forget the shrinking guy. I think he's called the Atom. I think his name is the Atom because they added him to Injustice 2.
All these Adams, dude. We got Adam Warlock in Guardians. It's like, geez.
Yeah, Black Adam, the Atom.
Adam Warlock. My God.
Yeah. Is there an Atom in Ant-Man? I don't think so. Anyway. Man. Yes. Adamantium. Maybe in the future. Possibly. Well, they did announce the X-Men animated series is coming back, so definitely Adamantium is coming back. So yeah, I think Black Adam is going to be cool, even if it directly rips off one of the shots from Iron Man where he's flying and the two jets pull up next to him. Yeah, I'm just like, at this point, my expectations for DC are relatively like center, so anything above that I think is going to be a pleasant surprise. So